So I found it kind of interesting that in a matter of 24 to 48 hours, the great wrestling promoter Vince McMahon has found himself out of a job. And this isn't the first time. And it's a very mysterious way of going about saying that he was helping others into a opportunity to spend some private intimate time with somebody else the way that it's being reported. We've also changed some names around, probably just because, well, they were distasteful to some journalists at some point in time. But we're going to get into it. I want to talk a little bit about Vince McMahon and his sudden ouster and why that could be important because it could really blow up sports entertainment just after a massive streaming deal was signed. Let's get to it. So, of course, we'll start here with Vince McMahon out of the WWE, and he's no longer the UFC partial owner of TKO or any of the other titles that he carried. And once again, I am sponsored by my own brand, Beach Punk. So, if you're looking for anything to support me, and you're looking for any kind of apparel or water bottle, any kind of collectible, there's a decent chance it's over there at beachpunk.us. So do check that out and support the channel that way if you can or are so inclined. There's some really great stuff over there. But with that being said, let's get right to the fact that not Bruce, Vince, excuse me, has been forced out over there. We've got, the WWE founder facing allegations of, well, a battery and providing companionship for others. This is done by one of the former employees who apparently he was paying hush money to. Now, we'll get over to that in just a moment, but I thought we would take a quick look at what the story here says. It's that McMahon has tendered his resignation from his positions as the TKO executive chairman and the TKO board of directors. He will no longer have a role with TKO Group Holdings or WWE. This was stated by the WWE story crafter. I don't even know what to call him. Nick Khan, right? I guess he's the president there now. But this came out late on Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which, well, makes a lot of sense. McMahon said himself that I stand by my prior statement that Miss Grant's lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene, made up instances that never occurred, and is a vindictive distortion of truth. Interesting. I intend to vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations and look forward to clearing my name. Well, Vince, good luck with that. I don't imagine that'll be easy, considering that this is the second time that they've set this ablaze on you. And the first time, well, I don't want anybody to forget. So, because I don't want anybody to forget, let's take a look at the past. You see, WWE's Vince McMahon reportedly paid $12 million in hush money to four different women. This was a story back in July of 2022. And, well, it was updated several times during the course of, well, a 2 week period. So, yeah, he reportedly made hush money payments totaling $12 million to four female employees at the wrestling network, all of whom signed agreements in exchange for their silence on allegations of, well, you guessed it, stuff having to do with intimacy. Now, the bombshell report noted that the four women who were not identified by name, well, we know one of them now, were signed agreements that prohibit them from discussing potential legal claims against or their relationships with this 76-year-old executive. I think he's 77 now or 78 at this point. He's getting old. So the Wall Street Journal reported, they did. What an amazing article, by the way. If you can go back in time and read it, since it's an exclusive, you'll have to be a subscriber there or know how to use a way to get by that. But anyway, so the Wall Street Journal reported on four hush money payments, citing some sources familiar with the matter, and reviewed the documents detailing the agreements. So the payments date back at least 16 years, including a $7.5 million payment to a former WWE wrestler who alleged that McMahon coerced her into, well, you've seen it, and there you are. Yeah. I can't even say it. Anyway, following the incident, McMahon allegedly demoted the wrestler and then allowed her contract to expire. So if you wondered where one of your favorites went, you could probably trace that down. So the payment was negotiated after the wrestler and her legal team confronted McMahon in 2018. So it's not that many years ago. In fact, this whole history isn't that many years ago. And I'm trying to remember when things got weird at WWE. Well, anyway, in a separate incident, McMahon agreed to pay about a $1 million settlement in 2008 to settle allegations from a former ex contractor who accused him of, whoa, hey now. So the woman signed a non disclosure agreement as part of the deal. We're going to start running into some weird circumstances about whether or not um, these NDAs are going to keep some of these people from talking. I think we already have our answer because McMahon's accuser, Janelle Grant, she has a name now, speaks out. Well, willingly, it seems. Doors of secrecy blown off the hinges. So there you go. This is the story that broke on the 26th. This is where we are now. So the former WWE employee who allegedly was not treated well in an intimate way by Vince McMahon broke her silence on Friday, saying she hopes any doors of secrecy have been blown off their hinges. Now, Janelle Grant claimed the wrestling mogul coerced her into having intimate activities with wrestling stars and other executives at the company, along with more lurid allegations that, including McMahon, did some nasty elimination business on her face or head, I guess, during a activity that involved more than two people, and utilizing various implements. Boy, am I tap dancing on this one. So that lawsuit was filed on Thursday. Friday, we get what we got, and Saturday, we don't have McMahon anymore. So she hopes those at the company, past and present, who fear speaking out about harm is a thing of the past. So there you go. That was read by her attorney, Ann Calais, or Callis, not sure which. She wishes them all peace. Okay, well, what about the people you are exposing? Although, hard to make an argument for them, right? So the interview is coming up on a podcast, on the Law and Crime podcast specifically. The interview is going to be available for streaming Friday evening, so I guess you can go check that out if you want to. But the 43-year-old Grant lives in Connecticut. Filed that lawsuit. So a spokesperson for McMahon said the lawsuit was riddled with falsehoods, baseless fabrications of events that never transpired, and a malicious distortion of the truth. And this is the young woman right here, which you can also see in the thumbnail if you're paying attention, or if you look down here. That's her right there. That's Vince down there. Anyway, McMahon intends to vigorously defend himself against these allegations, says a spokesperson. And the lawsuit comes after the Wall Street Journal last year was investigating the alleged $3 million payment from McMahon to a departing female employee following a consensual affair. Yeah. The subsequent investigation found McMahon had paid $14.6 million in total, see, even more than we had originally reported. So this led us to today or I guess last night, when Vince McMahon resigned from TKO Group Board of Directors following the claims of abuse and providing comfort of another in an illegal manner. I've got to be careful with how I say these things. Please forgive me. So, yeah, he resigned from his position. He's gone. He said, I wanted to inform you that Vince McMahon, this is according to, again, that statement by Nick Khan, that I wanted to inform you that Vince McMahon has tendered his resignation from his positions as TKO executive chairman and on the TKO board of directors. So there you are. So it breaks this all down, and I guess it names another. It names executive John Laurinaitis, however you say that. And that wasn't just, Vince that was doing things. It included this guy who was formerly the head of the talent relations now. So Grant's lawsuit, according to her lawsuit, McMahon and Laurinaitis on WWE property using WWE funding, both engaged in, intimate behavior and marketing somebody else for the same, both for their own pleasure and as a pawn to secure talent deals with prospective wrestlers that they were recruiting. My goodness. There is a copy, by the way, this article from Variety. You can still find this, it's still up. Says a copy of the lawsuit is available. You can actually click this link if you would so choose. Um, Sometimes those are interesting to read, but I think we have plenty of salacious details to digest already. Anyway, so the lawsuit was filed just days after, and this is the big problem. This is the elephant in the room. WWE secured a deal with Netflix to start airing Monday Night Raw beginning in 2025 in the United States. Interestingly enough, they're going to air all the other programming on Netflix everywhere else in the world. So the deal is valued at $5 billion, potentially $10 billion, and I don't know what they do with this. So back in June of 2022, according to what I'd read you earlier from that Post article, McMahon had already stepped down once as WWE's CEO. This is prior to the company being sold, right? So he put his position as the largest shareholder basically to work for him so he could return as the executive chairman and led the efforts to sell it to UFC to form TKO. And again, that's all owned by William Morris Endeavor, which is now just formerly called Endeavor, which they're trying to take private. There's a whole lot of business weirdness going on in the background here, and that may be what expedited Vince's resignation this time around. Not to mention the fact that nobody wants to be involved in something like this. But look, they had a bunch of business relationships go sour because of this particular revelation, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. And so Vince McMahon left, and all of these sponsors came back, which include, of course, Slim Jim. That's right. They've resumed their sponsorship of, well, the big current event that's about to happen now. In fact, you've got Conagra Brands, who makes Slim Jims, has basically decided to officially be part of this weekend's Royal Rumble. And they have been a sponsor with WWE for a very long time. Go think back to the Randy Savage commercials, snap into a Slim Jim and so on and so forth. But these are a lot of disturbing allegations. A lot of people walked back their support, and I imagine that they're all probably right back on board now that Vince is gone. See, there's one of those wonderful Macho Man Randy Savage commercials right there. You can watch those on YouTube. Those are kind of fun. So anyway, McMahon, accused by the ex-employee Janelle Grant for a bunch of explicit acts, filed her suit in federal court. So this is going all the way. I wonder if it will be taken into account that she was one of the people receiving those hush money payments. She's essentially being paid for her silence along with 3 others, maybe more. We don't know. So we'll have to see how this moves on. But you have a ton of different partnerships that they have at risk, and I know a lot of people want to enjoy their wrestling without any of these things coming to light. But this is the kind of thing that wrecks businesses. And imagine if some kind of scandal like this hit Disney. And I have to tell you, it could. You never know what your employees are doing. You don't obviously know what your executives are doing. And in this case, well, you don't know what the president was doing, the guy that basically owned the largest share of the company. I have a feeling that there will be more revelations, more wrestlers revealed, unfortunately. Maybe even some greats that are no longer with us. I have a feeling that a lot of other things are going to come to light, and it's going to hurt wrestling. It might even hurt UFC. Certainly is going to hurt Endeavor because they pushed forward with a deal in a situation that they suspected was going to go sideways. And, well, here we are. Let me know what you think about these types of stories and whether I should cover them at all, because to be fair, that was a lot of tap dancing to get around a lot of the language, and maybe that isn't worth it. But if you were entertained and informed, please let me know in the comment section down below. because, again, you drive a lot of the content that I make. And as requested, this video will not have background music in it. Let me know if that bothers you, or if you like the background music. I'd love to hear from you on that subject because, well, maybe it's a problem. I don't know. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.